Welcome to another day in the live video. This one's a little bit different because at the weekend I was at the RHS Malvern Spring Festival, so I thought I'd take you along with me. I've taken quite a bit of footage, and this is a few days later now where I've just about recovered. It's quite tiring, as you'll see. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to take you through it, show you what I sell in a day. All days are different, but this is the Friday of the show, so the second day. And yeah, just thought it might be an interesting video. So I woke up just before 6, and the first thing I needed to do was to pack an order that I'd got. So I wrapped that up. I actually put it in the wrong size envelope. It was meant to be smaller than that, and it meant I paid more postage than I should, but I was tired, I didn't think. But anyway, so I left this for Sam to post that day while I was at the show. I don't tend to get many orders outside of a print release, so it's always nice to get orders through. And then it was time to make my lunch. So I'm really obsessed at the moment with these like corn ham sandwiches with cheese and salad. And then sometimes I add mini cheddars into them as well for a bit of crunch. I don't really like sandwiches very much, but these I can tolerate. At this point, I feel like I'm making one of those TikTok lunchbox videos that people make. I've clearly watched too many. And then I headed out into the garden to get a bit of sun because it has been the most beautiful weather here and I don't get to see any of it at the show, so I wanted to make sure I spent some time outside before heading off. So I had some pain au chocolat and a cup of tea, and Winnie came out to join me, which was nice. And yeah, just tried to take 5 minutes to relax before the drive to the show. At this point I heard the church bells, which meant it was 7 and that I was meant to leave at 7, so yeah, I headed to the car. The drive takes about an hour. I normally listen to music on my journeys, but this morning I listened to the podcast Red Handed. They have a Patreon, and their weekly Patreon episode is called Under the Duvet. So I listened to that morning as I headed into the show. At the show, 3 guilds share this space: the Worcestershire Guild, the Herefordshire Guild, and the Cotswold Craftsmen, and that's what I'm part of. So the first thing I do is I take the sheets off my stand. I kind of put them on there for a bit of security, but also because sometimes birds get into the hall and it just protects them from dust and things. And then I put my cards out because I put them away at night because it can get a bit damp, and I don't wrap them in plastic. So yeah, they need protecting. And then I straighten up some of the pictures, and then it's kind of ready to go. So I walk around the show. So just above us there was an antique section. I always really like looking at the antiques. And then I headed outside, and it was a really lovely sunny morning. And then I saw this hammock, which made me think I really want to get a hammock for the garden. I didn't feel like there was quite as much at the show as there is normally this year, but maybe I just didn't see it all. So yeah, it's an RHS show, so there's a lot of flowers. I headed to the Country Living marquee because my friend Charlotte Macy has a stand there, but she wasn't in yet, but there's some of her lovely work. And then headed to the floral marquee, so many beautiful flowers. It was, yeah, really, really beautiful. I'm not green-fingered at all, but I wish I could grow things as beautiful as this. So yeah, I wandered around there. It's always nice to wander around the show before it opens, just to kind of see what's out there. It's always pretty interesting. During the show there's things like talks, things I don't see. I think there's a lot more going on once it opens, so yeah, I just get a little snippet of it before and after the show. So there's some gardens. And then I headed to the Festival of Houseplants, which I don't think they've done before, but was really lovely. I've got a lot of houseplants, but I'm not very good at keeping them alive. And I headed over to Mint Plants because they used to have a shop in my high street, and I wanted to see what they have. So yeah, that was really nice. Here's Prior Shop, who are based in Bristol. I've actually never been to their shop because I haven't been into Bristol city centre in years, even though I used to live there. And then there's Emily's Jewellery here, which was really lovely, and chatted to her a lot at the show. And then I headed back to the Cotswold Craftsmen area, and here's my friend Rosie.
Hey Rosie. Alright, treacle.
I've known Rosie for 9 years now, which is crazy. She really helped me when I was starting out as a printmaker. She gave me a lot of advice, and yeah, I always looked up to her, even though I think she only graduated a year before me, but she always just had so many good ideas. So she makes really beautiful etchings, and also she's just started stained glass, which is really exciting. So you're just putting things out?
Yeah, just putting some extra things out. I just thought I might put some acorns out.
Oh, nice.
Just plain.
I only met Izzy for the first time this show. She's new to the group, and she makes really beautiful jewellery. It really appeals to me how much she's inspired by nature, and yeah, I just thought it was really beautiful work, and it was lovely to have her part of the group. That's the nice thing about the group, getting to meet new people and chatting to other creatives. And then here's Claire with her pottery. She creates a lot of her patterns with leaves. And yeah, I've always loved her work.
It's looking beautiful.
And each evening I take home a couple of tablets to charge them and then bring them back in the morning and put them in their frames. And they show a couple of short videos just to show the customers how my work's made. I do tend to demo while I'm at shows, so I do engraving live so they can see it, but I don't do that all day. So yeah, it's really helpful to have videos to show what I do, to kind of show the value in the work. I guess people don't always understand that it's handmade. And then my stand was ready. At this point it was probably like 9:15, so the show had been open for 15 minutes, but it's always really quiet for the first hour and a half. I sold 2 advent calendars and then continued the sketch I started the night before, which is of a squirrel on a bird feeder surrounded by sparrows. This is actually for a poetry book that I am writing, and I just thought I need to get on with some of the illustrations because otherwise I can't really approach any publishers. So yeah, I thought it'd be a good chance to do that. Then I sold a mounted mini Inky Shadows print and 4 cards. And then I added some ink to the block so that I can see when I engrave the contrast between the lines I make and the block itself. And then I had some mini cheddars. I just love a mini cheddar, and they're really good at shows for, you know, keeping you full and yeah, great snack. I then started engraving. I started on the eye first because that's like a crucial part, I guess. And yeah, sold a card and these 3 framed prints to such a lovely couple who watched my YouTube videos, and they came to see me, and yeah, that was really lovely to meet them. Then I sold 4 more cards and then had a refreshing kombucha. I find it really hard to remember to keep hydrated at shows. And then I sold a mini badger and 4 cards and carried on engraving. The fur took ages to engrave, and it was fun at first, and then it got really repetitive. And then I sold a framed beer neck and Asia print and a card, and then another 2 sets of 4 cards. So it was time to restock my cards at this point as they were running a little bit low. I have such a range of card designs now, I think I need to pare it back because people often can't choose, there's too much choice. Then I sold 4 more cards, an advent calendar, a silver study, 4 more cards, 2 advent calendars, 4 cards, another 4 cards, and time to restock the cards again. So as you can see, cards are really important at shows. I think people think it doesn't make much of a difference when they buy a card, but it honestly does, especially if you're having a bit of a slow day at a show. Just like a £3 purchase for a card means like an awful lot. I then had my lunch and did a bit of people watching as people walked past. You see so many people. I think like there's 80,000 people that come to this show. So many people pass your stand. Then I sold 5 cards, 4 cards, another 4 cards, and 2 advent calendars, an advent calendar and a card, another 4 cards, another 4 cards, and a card. And then it was time to pack some more cards. So I was doing this at the show to pass the time. And actually most of these cards are going to come to the next show with me, which is the Bubby Tracy Craft Festival in Devon. I wasn't going to take my advent calendars to this show. I kind of decided to last minute because I think it's a bit weird to take them to shows anytime before September. But they were really popular, so I'm definitely going to take them to shows in the future any time of year. This day at the show was the hottest day we had, so all 4 days were hot. The last day ended in a thunderstorm, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, it was so hot, I was really struggling in the heat. Then I sold another 4 cards, an advent calendar, a card, and this is where I got to at the end of the day with my wood block. So quite a lot more to do. I'll show you how far I've got to now at the end. So this is Sarah's work. I love Sarah's work. I actually bought this piece at the end of the show because I just loved it, and Sam loves squirrels and I couldn't not. These are actually a few stems I already have at home that Sarah has made. And this is Martin. He was sculpting around a badger skull, which was really cool. And he makes really stunning sculptures. Yeah, these are really popular. And you tend to spend the last hour of your day chatting to other makers because all the visitors disappear. You don't really make a sale past 3 o'clock. And yeah, the show ends at 6, so it's a 9 till 6 show, which is too long in my opinion. I wish it was like 10 till 5 or 10 till 4. But anyway, it's nice to have time to chat to the other makers. So it was time to cover up my stand and then head home. So sometimes I walk around the show in the evening, but I didn't this evening as I needed to get back. So I walked to the car park and my car was so warm. I really delayed getting in it because yeah, it was really hot, and obviously the traffic's quite bad getting out of the showground in the evening, which isn't that fun. I listened to some music on the way home, just to, you know, keep me awake. And then Winnie was really pleased to see me. It's always nice to get back to her. And then before stopping for the evening, I wrapped some more advent calendars because I was low on stock on those. And I got a couple of prints out that I wanted to restock as well. So I packed them ready for the morning. And then I watered things in the greenhouse. Oh, I've really failed at growing things this year. I just haven't found the time. And then it was actually mine and Sam's 14-year anniversary. So he made a really nice Beyond Burger dinner, and we sat outside in the garden eating it. And I just, every day at this show I've got back and all I've wanted to do is be outside, do gardening. Just the thought of sitting inside after sitting inside all day just didn't appeal. So yeah, we had dinner outside, and the garden's looking really nice at the moment. The foxgloves are coming out. It's like a wild garden for nature, basically. And then we played Azul, which is like a tile game. I think it's Portuguese. And we had some chocolate and a cup of tea. And yeah, just watched the sun go down. It was just nice to relax outside, although we were both pretty tired. And then we headed inside to watch a bit of TV before going to bed. And then I was up basically all night with insomnia and completely missed the aurora. It was the day where the UK got to see the Northern Lights and I had no idea. And I was lying awake and didn't even look out the window, which was pretty sad in the morning when I looked at socials and everyone had beautiful pictures. But anyway, this is the block as it is now. So I worked on it over the next 2 days at the show. And yeah, I'll progress that when I have a bit of time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing a day in the life of a printmaker at a show. Hey Winnie, sometimes I print at shows as well to demo, but I didn't this time just because I decided I wanted to do engraving instead. But I hate just sitting there not doing anything. I always have to be doing something because the days go slow enough as it is without just sitting there. But yeah, it was a pretty good show. I didn't make as many sales as I normally do. I think because I felt really tired and I wasn't particularly good at chatting to people, and that really does make a difference. On the last day I found more energy to talk to people. But yeah, it's really hard to force that confidence and start conversations with strangers. I find really, really difficult. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching. My next show, as I said, is at Bovey Tracy Craft Festival in June, from the 7th to the 9th of June. And that's my favourite show of the year. I love it. It's where I grew up. It's just got really lovely vibes. The other makers are great. Yeah, it's my favourite, so I'm looking forward to it. But do check out the Cotswold Craftsmen, who I exhibit with. If you're local and think about joining. There's loads of other makers in the guild, but I thought if I feature everyone in this video, it will be a very long video. But I just gave you a little snippet of the makers. I'll put the website in the description. Thank you if you came along to the show and said hi. And yeah, I'll be back very soon with a new video.